People are always asking me, will AI replace programmers? And that's why today I decided I'm going to be putting two of the top AIs head to head to see which one would make the best programmer. So before we started, I just want to set up some ground rules. So number one, I can't nudge the AI to do anything particular. I can, however, tell it if something is broken and then allow it to try and fix it. The AI has 3 attempts to fix any bugs that may occur when it writes code. And finally, for each challenge that the AI completes successfully, it will be awarded a point. So now we're going to get started, and I'm going to give the AIs 5 challenges each to complete. You may be thinking to yourself, how will I be able to interact with Roblox using these AIs? Well, I'm going to use 2 tools that these AIs provide. Number one is Gemini CLI, which is essentially a tool that allows you to use the AI inside of your projects on your computer, and also Claude Code, which essentially is the same thing. Additionally, you may be thinking, okay, that's all well and good, but how will you use this CLI tooling to interact with Roblox Studio? Well, that's, my friend, where we use tooling like Roblox TS and Rojo. So as you can see here, I have VS Code open with a project here, and Rojo is now automatically syncing all changes to our project here to Roblox Studio, right here. In fact, I need to make sure I'm connected, so let me just do that quickly. Beep boop. And then let's open the Rojo plugin. Where is it? There it is, and then let's connect. Now, every change the AI makes inside of VS Code will be reflected inside of Studio. So I have 5 different challenges for the AI to complete, each of varying difficulty, and if the AI does it to a level that I feel is good enough, I will award it the point. Then at the end of the 5 challenges, we'll see which AI has the most awards and declare that AI the winner. Now initially, we're going to have to set up some instructions for the AI on how it's going to interact with the code here inside of our project. So luckily, Claude Code provides a tool called /init, and this will create a new Claude MD file which will provide some code-based documentation, in other words, just some instructions for the AI to follow while it works with the code in our project. Unfortunately, to my knowledge, Gemini doesn't provide a tool to do this. However, we can just instruct it to create the file anyways. However, Claude provides this fun tool /init, and now the AI will automatically look through all of the code in our project here and create a couple of instructions for it to follow in the future. So as you can see here, it's reading different files, is then processing it, and then it's marking it off the to-do list it made. As you can see, this tool is really powerful as it allows the AI to fully interact with your project and, in a sense, run commands on your computer and almost start controlling it. As you can see here, it's using a lot of tokens. Okay, and now finally that is done, it's actually asking me if I want to allow it to save this file. Now I'm going to go all out here and I'm going to let it save files whenever it wants. And as you can see here, it's created a Claude MD file here for it to be able to instruct itself in the future on how it should be able to work with this codebase. So as mentioned previously, I don't think Gemini comes with a way for it to initialize a Gemini.md file itself. So I'm just going to instruct it manually to create it itself. It's asking for a write file. Let's say yes, allow always, and hopefully it should create one. Oh, and there we go, it's created quite an extensive Gemini.md file here. Okay, so now that it's successfully completed the init task, I'm going to give it a very simple task. Let's ask it to create a kill part that destroys a player when they touch it. Okay, let's run it now and see if Claude is going to be capable of a simple task. So as you can see here, it's created its own to-do list, and now it's hopefully going to start writing code that's going to make this work. As you can see, the AI accidentally has written a bug in its code here. However, the AI has actually decided that it's going to test its code by running a build every time it makes any changes to the files. So if we press yes now, it's hopefully going to run this build and it's going to raise an error, and the AI should hopefully try and fix the error itself. Luckily, I haven't even tested the code yet and haven't had to intervene manually. As you can see, the AI automatically detected its own mistake and has now mitigated the issue inside of its code. Okay, once again, it's made its changes and it's going to ask to test once more, so I'm going to allow it. Also, there is an option for me to allow it to completely run commands and I think I'm going to enable that. And boom, it says it's finished. So let's join the game and make sure that it works. Okay, so here we are. Oh, I was about to say here we are in the game, but it turns out that the block here is in the position of the spawn, but that's completely okay. And I think as we saw, it is already working. So we go in, tap it, and perfect. It works as expected. Now let's see if Gemini can do any better. But for this performance, I think Claude deserves the point. Okay, so now it is Gemini's turn to try and do the same thing. I'm going to give it the exact same instructions that we gave Claude. Here we go. Let's see if Gemini can do the same as Claude did. It's asking for permissions. I'm just going to say yes. Allow always. Okay, so Gemini says he has completed it now. But let's see if it actually functions as expected. No, it doesn't. Where is the kill part? Let's ask Gemini this. Oh, I'm stupid. Turns out I wasn't syncing with Rojo. Wasn't Gemini's fault, and it also seems to be working. And also, it looks like the kill part is hidden inside of the spawn, which is okay. But let me just walk into it, and now it functions as expected. Good job, Gemini. You can get the point on this one. Okay, so Claude performed pretty well there. And now we're going to go on to the next challenge. Now this is definitely a little bit more sophisticated, so I'm going to write a more detailed prompt. Of course, I'm going to use the same prompt on each AI to make sure that the test is fair. I'm also going to test its ability on removing things that is added. So let's write a new prompt here. Please remove the kill part you just added. And now create a basic leaderboard which has the currency money in it. Each player should start with 100 money by default. Build a shop with React-Lua where users can buy two things, a speed boost or jump boost that each cost 50 money and lasts for 30 seconds. Obviously, make sure the user cannot buy multiple times from the shop while the effect is still in progress. Okay, now let's run this and see how the AI does. As you can see, this is a much more sophisticated task, so the AI has created more to-dos for it to complete. As you can see, it's not even asking me anymore to write the code as I've granted it permission to write it. As you can see here, it's going to try and install some dependency it needs for the code to work. I'm going to allow it, and this time I'm going to allow it to run any npm install commands again. You can't really allow Claude to do whatever it wants, as it's a bit of a security protocol, but you can allow it to use commands that are similar. So for instance, if it wants to npm install any package, it can now do that. Okay, and around 3 minutes later, Claude has finished debugging, and it says that everything is functional and ready to use. So let's hop into the game and test if this is true. Okay, so I'm in, but I don't actually see a button to open the shop. Yeah, so I don't see how to open the shop. It looks like it made a frame for it, but I don't think there's any way to open it. Let's ask Claude and see if it can help us. Okay, so Claude has now claimed that the problem is fixed and that I should press G to access the shop. Interesting how he didn't add a button to open the shop, because I think that's a much more friendlier UX and something users would prefer rather than a button to open the shop. But now more important, let's check its functionality. So we join the game, we have 100 as we should. Now if we press G, and it's not working. Ooh, it looks like there's a bug here. That is not good. This is not looking good for Claude here. Let's report the bug to him and see if he can fix it. Okay, so this is the second time Claude has debugged. So if it doesn't work and he can't fix it next time, he unfortunately would not have completed this challenge. So fingers crossed for Claude, and let's hope this works. So we load in. Are we met with any bugs straight away? No, we're not. And let's press G. Okay, so a shop does come up. It is definitely not the most elegant, but now let's see if it functions properly. So speed boost, 50 money, speed active, and I do get my speed boost. Perfect. This seems to be working. Now let's see if it comes back after we wait for the speed boost to run out of time. You can also see that 50 coins were deducted from my money. Okay, and the button has disabled, so congratulations Claude, but let's just do a bit more testing just to make sure that he hasn't skipped on any parts. I would have liked to see a little bit more improvement in the UX, like a cross button here maybe, or a button on the side, but let's see if the jump boost works now. Yes, it... Ooh, does that work? I don't know if that's a jump boost, you know. Let's see. I mean, the speed boost I was pretty confident in. I'm not sure about that jump boost. Let's see. Yes, and it looks like it hasn't worked here. Maybe because by default now, Roblox uses jump height rather than jump power. But I'm not entirely sure. However, if he has any more bugs that aren't like this, he will unfortunately not have beaten the challenge. So I've told him to use jump height now, and it's an interesting approach he's taken to the remote events. To be honest, I think it would have been more effective for him to use a package like Remo, because of course I'm not rating these AIs on how clean their code is, but I would definitely have not used remote events like this, especially inside of Roblox TS. Okay, so the AI says that now everything has changed and it should work. Let's give it a whirl here and see how good it is. Let's press G. Okay, let's test. And yep, we definitely have a jump boost now. Now, can we have a jump boost and a speed boost at the same time? Let's see. Yeah, looks like we can. That's good. And then we can run around here, and then let's wait for it to expire. Once again, I would have liked to see an X button, but I guess that's just how it is. Okay, and one thing I want to test is we can't go into negative numbers here, right? Okay, perfect. When I'm clicking on this, it should come up with a message saying, you have no money, or something like that. But that is completely okay. So I think Claude can get the point there. So well done, Claude. Okay, so once again, we're going to give Gemini the exact same question, and let's see how he does. Gemini does seem to be making more changes to things that I wouldn't personally do, and also that I wouldn't have liked it to see doing, but let's just see how it goes. Okay, Claude says it's completed. Let's see if he has completed the job successfully. Okay, so we're in the game. The leaderboard seems to function properly, but how do we access the shop? Okay, that's probably not ideal. Let's just copy the message from the output and see if he can fix it. And it looks like I've run out of credits for Gemini. That sucks. As you can probably tell, these AIs cost quite a bit of money to run. Let me go buy some more. Here we go again. Okay, so Gemini says it's completed now, and let's see if it has completed the task to how it should be. Okay, so we have the shop, which is good. It actually looks more elegant than the Claude one, in my opinion. But of course, we can't have it permanently on the screen, so we're going to have to tell Gemini to fix it. But let's see if it functions as expected. Okay, the speed boost worked. And it doesn't seem like we can get it again, which is good, while it's active. But there is no feedback that we can get it again, which is slightly problematic. Let's see if it's hopefully going to run out after 30 seconds. Can we also get the jump boost at the same time? No, we can't. Okay, interesting. Ah, there we go. It does kind of show us with that little animation. And then the jump boost. I don't think the jump boost is working, so that's the same error that Claude had. So let's report on the feedback. Okay, and Claude says he's finished here, so let's see if it now functions. Okay, so we have a button to open the shop, which I really wanted Claude to do, but I'm glad Gemini did it. It opens. And jump boost functions, so I'm happy with everything here. Perfect. And Gemini gets a point. Okay, for challenge 3, what we're going to do is we're going to make it create a leaderboard with persistent data. So let's tell Claude to now add a part that gives the user 50 coins each time they step on it, That's just for testing purposes, so we can make sure that the database actually is saving. And make sure the leaderboard now saves when the user leaves using the data store service. Here we go. Let's see if Claude can do this in one attempt this time. Okay, perfect. So now Claude says he has implemented this. Now, I would have liked it to say that we need to enable the data store service, and it would have also been nice if in Rojo, in the project JSON, he set something like, he would have set the data store having to be enabled here. Once again, these are just quality of life things, but you know, that's alright. So we'll enable it ourselves here. So API services, enable access. Okay, perfect. And now let's see if what he has done has worked. Okay, so I have 0 money here. My shop is still here. And now when I tap this, I should get 50 money. Okay, good. Now let's spend 50 money on a speed boost. Now hopefully when I join the game, I should still have 50 money. Okay, well that's not ideal because I do not have any money anymore. So let's try rejoin again once more. We'll give it one more time. We'll try to see if there's an error if any time we try leaving. So let's get some money here. 250 money. And then let's now leave the game. And it says that 250 coins were saved for me. So now let's try join the game. Boy, it hasn't worked here. And that kind of sucks. So as you can see, we do have a warning here, and I'm going to give it to Claude. Once again, I can't help it debug, but I can tell it that it has bugs in its code and the output that's being produced. Okay, so Claude now mentions that the code should be fixed. Let's see if it really is. So I have 100 money upon start. Let's make that 200, and now let's see if that saves. And it hasn't. Why is that? Let's see if we can rip something out of the output here. Let's join the game here. As you can see, we have another invalid data type error. And then let's touch the part here, and then exit. And it looks like saving is working. Let's copy this to Claude and see if he can fix it. Once again, if this attempt doesn't work, he'll only have one more chance. Okay, so Claude now claims the issue has been fixed. Let's check it out and see if it really is fixed. Okay, says I have 200 money. That's different from last time. Now let's see. I should have 300 money now when I rejoin. And perfect. It now seems to be working. Claude will definitely be getting the point for this one though. Okay, I suspect Gemini will have no issue with this, but let's see how he does. And let's see if he performs the same as Claude does. Once again, I'm going to be using the same prompt here that we used on Claude. And good luck, Gemini. Okay, so Gemini says he's implemented it, and let's see if it functions. So here's the part that gives us money. I would have liked to see a debounce on there, but doesn't matter. Should be okay. So now if we leave, it should hopefully be all saved. And it doesn't actually recall. Oh, mistake here. Once again, I would have appreciated it if it told me to enable API services, but no worries. We didn't do that for Claude, so I'll enable it here too, and let's see if it works. So we should rejoin with 150 money. And ooh, it also didn't work now. So is there any message? And no, there isn't. So we're going to have to report to Claude that this is in fact not working. Let's see if there's any output we can collect. Okay, and leaving. And it looks like, oh, our money did save that time. That's slightly odd. Let's see if it just functions again this time. Is this a problem with the API service? Let's just try one more time. And now it doesn't seem to be there. Oh, hold on one moment. Okay, and then let's leave. We should have 650 money when we join. And we don't. So I don't think this is working as it should be. See, it worked there, but it doesn't always work. So now if we rejoin, I don't think the money's going to be there. Okay, that's a bit problematic. That's a very bad bug, actually. Let's see if Gemini can fix it. Okay, and it looks like it has fixed the bug, allegedly. Let's see what's going on here. So let's go onto the pad here. 1,550 money. Let's leave. Okay, let's rejoin. And our money once again hasn't saved. And he has added some logging here. So let's see if this has now helped us diagnose what the issue is. But after this, it will be his final attempt to try and solve the problem. API services are definitely enabled. Let's join. 100. Okay. Then let's collect our money. We should have 1,450. Okay. Apparently the data was saved. Let's join. Oh, and it seems to load the data, but it doesn't display right on the leader stats. It seems to load the data properly, but not display it on the leader stats. Let's see if it can find the issue and fix it. Hopefully it can, because this is its final attempt to try and fix the problem at hand. Okay, and allegedly it should now be working properly. Let's check if this is true. Okay, so we should have 1,850 money now when we rejoin, and once again this has just not properly worked. So unfortunately Gemini does in fact not score the point here. That sucks. Okay, so now we're on challenge 4, which is the penultimate challenge, and ultimately it now starts to get really difficult for the AIs. So this next challenge requires the AI to build a tool. So let's tell the AI to remove the part that it just created. Now make a sword with animations that every user has. It should kill a player when they are stabbed with the sword. Sounds simple enough, but I think this is going to be quite difficult for the AI. Also considering that it has to create a model too. Okay, so Claude says he has finished it, which is very fast. Now let's see if it actually functions as expected. For this test, I'm obviously going to need 2 clients here, so let's just run with a 2-player local server. Okay, so let's see how this sword looks. Okay, I mean, he tried. It makes a sound effect every time I click it, which is actually pretty cool. But there isn't any animations, which kind of sucks, you know. Did I specify that it's supposed to have animations? I think I did. Yeah, I specified that it should have animations. So we're going to have to query him about that in a second. But now let's see if it actually functions. So I go up to player 2. Okay, so it doesn't just casually do damage, even when you're just putting it into them, which I didn't really ask for. But when I stab, does it work? No, it doesn't. Oh, okay, so it does work, but the blade has to be touching him. Let's see if he can quickly fix this animation. What functionality is there? It's just missing the animation. Okay, finally, Claude says that it should now hopefully be working. And this is his final chance. So if it hasn't actually worked, he won't get the point, even despite the fact he almost somewhat got there. But the animation, I feel, is pretty essential to the success of this game. Let's see what it's like. Okay, and the animation does not work at all. Does the console help us? Nope. No, it doesn't. And that sucks for Claude. So despite the fact that he almost got there, he unfortunately will not be receiving the point for this. Sucks, but quite a good job. Let's see if Gemini can actually counter him and make something that works successfully. If Gemini couldn't solve the last challenge, I'm afraid he might have some problems here. Okay, so he did break the Roblox TS compiler here, but it looks like he has fixed the bug himself, and let's see if the sword he made has actually worked. And we don't have a sword in our inventory. That sucks. Let's let Gemini know and see if he can fix it. Okay, he said he's fixed it, but I don't think the error will be resolved. And here we go. And yep, the issue is still present, So once again, he unfortunately scores no points for task 4. Okay, and now finally it's time for the hardest challenge. Challenge number 5, also known as the final challenge. Make a multiplayer sword game. Make an arena where users can be, and make sure users can't enter the arena once they've died. It should be a round based, and for the round it should be round based. Ooh, what's going on? Okay, I think my Claude code was a little broken there. It should be round based, and for the round to end, everybody must be killed. Once everybody my typos today. Once everybody is killed, there is a 10-second intermission, and everybody is teleported back into the arena. People get 50 coins each time they kill somebody. Make sure there are visual indicators to indicate when the round is starting, when it's ended, and how long is left in the intermission. Good luck, Claude, and here we go. Oh, and you have to be kidding me, I'm out of credits. So as you know, these AIs are actually really expensive to run. So let me just quickly go buy some credits. Okay, delicious. Let's see if it now works after I have restored the credits. There we go. It's formatted a little bit weirdly, but I think everything is there. Okay, and Claude says he's done 5 minutes later. Let's see if he has actually delivered to how I would have expected him to play, and here we go. So we have an alright intermission here. We have an arena up there. Okay, not the most beautiful UI, but it is working. Now let's see. Okay, so technically the round should be over now, but let me just test this with multiple people real quick, because obviously I can't just test this by myself. Okay, here we go, and let's see if it functions. So we're in the game. And now let's see. And perfect. And I got my money. I am really impressed that this works as expected. Like, extremely impressed. The fact that this functions properly and could work as an actual game is really, really impressive. Well done, Claude. You completely get the point there. Now let's see if Gemini can hopefully perform to the same standard. Now finally, it's time for this challenge, and to be quite frankly honest, I don't think he's going to be able to complete this task. So let's provide him with the exact same prompt, but I don't think this is going to go very well. Here goes nothing. And it looks like we've been restricted here. To be honest, I don't think Gemini was going to be able to solve this problem anyway, so I think unfortunately Gemini does not get the point here. So that was a pretty interesting experiment, although I think Claude definitely takes the cake there. And it's important to know that AIs are still completely not capable of replacing developers yet. If anything, you should consider them a part of your tool belt. I think that AI still has a long way to go. As you can see, lots of bugs were being made, and additionally, you can't just use these to program even if you have no experience. The reason being is your stack will just keep growing with bugs. And with Google Gemini, it was using really bad practices, and in reality, after a certain amount of time of iterations and shipping new ideas, it will eventually just have so much technical debt that your stack will be unusable. So, once again, thank you for watching. I know it's been a long time since I've posted, so I hope you enjoyed this. That's all from me. Thank you, and bye-bye.